Hello, everyone, and welcome to TSAM Digital. I'm Anna Luisa, and today I am with Eddie Russo from SS&C Advent. Welcome, Eddie.
Thank you, Anna. As Anna mentioned, my name is Eddie Russo. I'm a senior director within SS&C Advent's Global Solutions Management Organization. I've been with Advent for a combined 15 years, working for numerous groups within the organization, primarily focused on the alternative space, featuring the Geneva Solution Suite of products. As a global solutions manager, part of my role is understanding the market, talking to influencers, clients, prospects, understanding where we need to take the direction of the products. Some of the things that I focus on include our Advent Loomis, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, and then also our Geneva managed services offering that we offer to our client base.
Wonderful. Eddie, would you be able to tell us a little bit about what you see as the key trends impacting asset managers in the US?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I think of trends in the marketplace, some of the things I've seen, I think three trends come to mind specifically. The first one, and one of the largest trends I think is driving the space right now, is outsourcing. When I speak about outsourcing, what I've seen in the marketplace is there's really two main components. You have your IT infrastructure that our asset manager clients are having service providers host on their behalf, so kind of hosting the IT infrastructure, the technical piece, and then also you have the operational services or the managed services piece, where you have a service provider that is conducting the kind of the day-to-day roles or the day-to-day actions that an asset manager would typically partake in. And so we're seeing that a lot, I think, because as it relates specifically to the asset management market, we're seeing a lot of clients that they're looking to gain efficiencies, right? Increase production, increase revenues while trying to lower their costs and lower their risk, right? And really they're trying to, from what we've seen, is there's a lot of talk about breaking down barriers from the front to back office as it relates to, kind of data transparency and kind of interaction. So I think a lot of firms feel that they can get that with outsourcing, whether it's just on the IT standpoint or whether it's kind of the IT hosting and managed services. We're just seeing a lot more interest in that type of infrastructural workflow. What's the nice thing about this is that from an Advent standpoint, it greatly aligns with our 2021 strategy, where we're definitely focused on providing full hosting services for our asset managers' IT infrastructure, as well as being able to provide kind of flexible managed services as part of our co-source model. Where firms kind of can pick and choose which function that they want to outsource, while also having access to kind of across the board to our award-winning products. So we've seen such interest, so much so we've talked to a lot of our asset manager clients, as well as a lot of the firms out in the marketplace, and we actually just put together a thought leadership piece as well, which will help firms understand what to look for, when seeking out service providers to help them with their outsourcing requirements. So I think outsourcing is out there, and I don't think that's any surprise to anybody. I think a lot of people are seeing that. Another trend that I think is having a significant impact in the market is the heavy emphasis being put on data governance and kind of data management, products, processes, solutions, as well as the artificial intelligence capabilities to kind of power those solutions or those processes. I think that with compliance being top of mind for many in the market, with the focus on existing and potentially new regulations that are always coming out, I think the implementation of a data governance program, at least from what we've seen, is kind of maybe has gone from a nice to have in prior years to an absolute must have requirement now. And I talked a little bit about AI and kind of there's been a lot of AI buzz over, I'd say, probably the past 5 years, and that's definitely warranted. I'm not taking anything away from kind of all the strides that have been made from an AI standpoint. I just think that from a data management, the scrutiny on data is more now than ever before. And when you talk about AI, whether it's certain solutions or tools such as robotics process automation, or you have natural language processing, or you have machine learning and predictive analytics, these are all great solutions that can help power anyone's business. However, the issue is that it's kind of like that old adage or saying, garbage in equals garbage out. If you have bad data feeding these, these powerful AI tools on the back end, ultimately what's going to happen is that you're going to end up, we might, however you're powering these AI tools, you're going to end up with bad data on the back end as well. So ultimately, if whatever you're providing to your clients, or whatever is required on the back end from a data accuracy, integrity, reporting standpoint, is obviously going to be out of whack. Because if you're feeding these AI tools with bad data, you're going to get bad data on the outside as well, on the backside as well. So that's why I feel that that kind of data management, data governance is really taking precedence, and we're seeing a lot of focus on that. I would say the last trend that we're seeing is really focused on, I think, asset manager diversification, and there are a number of reasons for this. I'd say probably last year, there was a heavy emphasis on passive investing, passive investment products. We're seeing kind of, and I think that kind of bled into this year, right? We're seeing a lot of fee compression as well, where managers are lowering fees to just try to stay competitive. So as a byproduct of that, specifically on the active asset manager side, we're seeing a lot of diversification where maybe we had a manager that was managing a long short equity, or maybe a retail fund, or even a 40 Act fund, where historically you never really see any investments on the alternative side. They're now starting to dip their toe into the alternative side of the business, and looking at alternative investments to try to increase their returns in their search for alpha. So we're seeing that quite a bit, which again kind of aligns very well for us on the SS&C Advent side, where Geneva being our flagship portfolio accounting and portfolio management investment accounting solution, very much is its bread and butter is very much on the alternative side of the business and handling alternative investments. So with that alternative investment strategy, seeing a heavy emphasis on private debt, private credit, and those types of vehicles. So I think those three components are really what we're seeing right now as far as major trends in the marketplace.
So Eddie, could you tell us a little bit about your managed services offering with Geneva and what business needs it solves for?
Sure, love to. So as mentioned earlier, outsourcing from a technology and managed service standpoint is really trending significantly upwards. Again, which directly aligns with a lot of things that we're doing, a lot of our focus from a strategic standpoint here at SS&C Advent. As it relates to our managed services offering, we really look at that offering as an extension of our client's business. We work together with our clients as a cohesive unit, and we really view it as a true partnership. We have what we call a co-source model, and we feel like it's a competitive differentiator because what it allows for our asset manager clients that are leveraging our managed services to really have kind of access or have their own version to the best of breed solutions that are used to power the offering, right? So best of breed solutions to help with their data processing, their operational workflows. And not only do they have the access to the best of breed solutions, they also are relying on SS&C Advent experts to do the work. Now we have experts in the industry that are providing these services, actually doing the work on behalf of our clients. And I would say that the average tenure within the team is anywhere between 10, 15 years. I mean, I'm on the global solutions management side, but I've been with the organization for a combined 15 years, and I'm probably on the younger side, at least for that part of the organization. But it's just kind of it just gives you an idea of the type of tenure that we have within the organization, and the fact that we do really feel that we're experts in kind of our clients' day-to-day operations. So that's great as part of the managed services offering. We definitely have a lot to offer there, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback there. As far as some of the business needs that it solves for, one of the things that we allow with our managed services offering is that we're definitely not looking to do a complete lift out. And so some service providers require a complete lift out, whether it's the front, middle, back office, completely lifting out every function, and they're doing everything on your behalf. What we try to do is, again, we have that co-source model, so it's very flexible. So flexibility is key with this offering. So we allow our clients to pick and choose what they want to outsource. So, we have a lot of asset manager clients. They're looking at their day-to-day ops, and maybe there are certain functions that are really having a drain on their business, right? And maybe costing more. The means don't justify the end. So for example, maybe like reconciliation is a good one. Maybe we have an asset manager client that maybe wants to outsource their reconciliation work to us, but keep everything else in house. So that's an example of the flexibility. We have other clients that are outsourcing just their, asset servicing and investment accounting along with their reconciliation. So we have a lot of different flavors that make up our offering. As far as some of the other things we do, we have we have a full offering for loan processing. We have a different offering for investor accounting and servicing. And that we have another offering for that all kind of goes hand in hand with what I mentioned earlier as far as the investment accounting, reconciliation, asset servicing, pricing, security master. So a lot of different flavors of services, as I mentioned before. And one last thing to mention as well is that I kind of mentioned that we have with our solutions, we feel they're the best of breed solutions in the alternative industry and alternative investment industry. And we have some of the largest, most complex asset managers, fund administrators, hedge funds, prime brokers using these products. And those firms that leverage our managed services offering get access to those same products without all the overhead.
Eddie, why should firms leverage Geneva? And why is it an exciting time to be an Advent and Geneva client?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. So, I probably could talk for hours about this topic, but we'll keep it short for today's interview. But ultimately, Geneva is a comprehensive portfolio management, investor accounting and reporting solution that it really supports any investment within any structure in any region, across the globe, in the world. So, as we talk about Geneva for asset managers, it's really, we've put a lot of focus into the asset management marketplace with our software, with our solutions, with Geneva. And it's really a unified platform that we feel streamlines operations, optimizes efficiency, and really ensures firm-wide data consistency and governance. As I mentioned, one of the big things that we focused on, I know is kind of something that our asset manager clients have to deal with, is the concept of IBOR, the investment book of record, right? So when we talk about Geneva for asset managers, Geneva is really the center of the asset management ecosystem, within the products that we are able to provide, with the services that we provide for our asset manager client base. And what that means is that, Geneva being a single comprehensive solution, with its open API and out of the box integration to a number of other solutions, Geneva really is able to provide an accurate and timely view of data with transparency across the entire across the entire firm. Across the entire firm. So from an IBOR standpoint, Geneva can really be, quote unquote, that single source of truth across our clients' data. So that's important, and that's something that we've worked hard over the last few years to really facilitate specifically for our asset manager client base. In addition to that, some of the other things, Geneva is a true 24/7 solution, doesn't require any batch processing or down periods throughout the day or period. It's got this dynamic derivation infrastructure, which really allows for real-time views and updates of the data. So as you're making changes, you see those changes real time. There's no delay. It allows for comprehensive storage of reference data and then reporting. We've also done a lot of work in our reporting specifically for asset managers. We're really excited about the latest versions of the software, as it now comes standard with more user-friendly, customizable reporting tools. So now clients can slice and dice their data. They can kind of pick and choose what they want to join from different data sets. And really do much more from a data access and report generation and creation standpoint than they ever could before. We're also always working on our investment accounting, our investment coverage, kind of the true staples of Geneva. And with the latest versions, we now have support for the LIBOR transition, for example. All the different types of investments that are out there. Recently, I mentioned private credit, private debt. We have full support for that. We've enhanced out our drill through capabilities. When you're talking about different components of private equity, closed-ended funds, it's not just knowing, kind of what investments are being held, but also which investors hold which investments, and of those investors, how much capital is being allocated kind of to the funds and to each investment. So allowing for that drill through, just a lot of exciting things coming down the pipe and things that we've already built within Geneva to help our clients. Lastly, just to kind of reemphasize that the Geneva for Asset Manager ecosystem, Geneva being the center of that, solution suite. With its open APIs, we now are able to leverage a lot of resources and solutions and services that we never had before, with now having SS&C technology kind of backing Advent. And so what I mean by that is now with Geneva, you have the ability, it comes tightly integrated with ES, OMS, and EMS for your order management or your order execution capabilities. Now you have access to that where it's really a kind of almost like a single cohesive suite. So you have ES, you have Loomis, as I mentioned before, which is kind of our data governance, operational workflow and exception management solution. We talked about data governance and that trend. So that's been a very important part of the suite. We have SS&C Recon for reconciliation, tightly integrated to Geneva. You have Sylvan for performance. You have Algorithmics for risk, VCA for voluntary corporate action. So there's just a lot more that we're providing to our asset manager clients today than we ever have in the past. So, a lot to be excited about, a lot of reasons why you should leverage Geneva. And again, talking about managed services and outsourcing, any of these products or solutions that I've mentioned, any of these functions I've mentioned, we can host the solution from an IT standpoint, or we can conduct conduct whatever function you're looking to do on your behalf as part of the services offering. So we talk about, so that's kind of why it's exciting to be, it's exciting to be a Geneva client as far as taking a step back and taking a look at the company as a whole and SS&C Advent. Again, I talked a little bit about the backing and the support of SS&C technologies behind the scene, but it's really just allowed us to take advantage of a lot of the latest and greatest technologies kind of across the business unit to help our clients, right? So if I'm an Advent client, I'm pretty excited about that. I think that a lot of these advancements and things that we've done kind of cross organizationally have had a huge positive impact, and it's really going to ultimately show through having a direct increase on our clients' efficiencies, revenues, their ability to scale, right? Their ability to better service their clients, all while being able to lower costs and the risks associated with managing their day-to-day operations. In addition to that, I talked about some of the things with Geneva from a development standpoint, some of the things to be excited about. We're constantly reinvesting our revenues back into our flagship products such as Geneva. So we've taken a lot of steps. I think roughly we do between 18 to 20% of our revenues go right back into the products that we provide to our clients, or that power our managed services offering. So it just helps us. For example, we're definitely making huge strides from our development standpoint to stay ahead of the marketplace. Again, I talked about leveraging the latest technologies and kind of going to the cloud and being more efficient and really focusing on user experience, right? And allowing our users to get the most out of their products and providing the most value for them. We're also supporting other things such as complex investments such as crypto and Bitcoin and other things that are coming out in the marketplace. We're always staying in touch with the market and trying to determine, what's next, right? We're prioritizing and we're figuring that out. And again, and back to the simple fact is that our clients have more access to more products and services now than ever before. And, for those services, again, as I mentioned, that unparalleled experience in the industry, we have very low turnover. And, it's definitely, Advent's taken great strides to be kind of that employer of choice. And it shows. I think that, with happier employees, they produce more, and they actually allow for our clients to have a better experience as well. So I think it goes hand in hand and kind of back to that partnership. I think these are all reasons that, it's definitely exciting to be, to be part of the Advent culture, be part of SS&C Technologies. The bottom line is that regardless of, what function you're responsible for, from the front to back office, or, whatever type of investment that you're investing in, we have either a suite of solutions or a solution or a suite of services that will satisfy your needs and ultimately make you more profitable.